Who's ready for Facebook Live time? I am. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Join me here, Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. My website is www.melissascraftingtreehouse.com. Yay, it's Thursday. Yes, Thursday at 7 p.m. I think last week I said 4 p.m. Had the old time in my head. Dang, I hate when that happens. Anyway, here I am, 7 p.m. Thursday, Eastern Standard Time. Welcome. Whoever's out there, say hello, tell me who you are, where you're from. So I have some announcements as always today, what's going on in the Stampin' Up! World and in the business of Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. And then I have a fun fold card to show you made with some of the new designer paper that's going to be coming in the annual catalog. So I'm just going to launch right in. And again, please comment and let me know who you are, who's there. Hi, Pam, welcome. So good to have you here. Hope you're having fun with your grandkids. Anyway, so 4 reasons to love the first week in June. I'm going to tell you what they are. Hi, Anne-Marie. Welcome. So the first reason, the new catalog goes live on June 4th. Yay, I'm so excited. I don't know about you guys, but I can't show you in the inside, but I can show you the outside. So June 4th, that's the first reason to love the first week in June. The second reason is on June 5th is, well, the last day actually to order a Paper Crafters buffet. So my Taste of a Sweet product shares are going to come to a close at that point on June 5th. And I already have my buffet. I'm just going to gloat a little bit. My buffet. These are all my product shares. So much fun. Anyway, so these, I have 9 of them. I've showed them to you before. I'm not showing you them all again. I'm just gloating a little bit. And there will be 4 others that I have not been able to actually assemble because I haven't been able to get those products. So I'm super excited to get those in my hands after I can order on June 4th. So the Taste of a Sweet product shares, if you're not familiar, it's a way to get a little bit of each of the products that's in the product suites in the new annual catalog. There are 13 product shares, and one of them is the in colors, and the other are all the suites. So, okay, let me see, looking at comments. Hi, Gail. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. So glad to have you here. So I am talking about the 4 reasons to love the first week in June. The first one is the new catalog comes out. The second is my Paper Crafters Buffet or Taste of Sweet product shares are orderable as of now through June 5th. And then June 7th is another important date because I launched yesterday my new annual catalog special offer. And that was in my newsletter. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you probably read about it. And I do this is my 2nd annual, but it's a way to give customers the opportunity to get hostess rewards without actually hosting a party and without spending $150. So let's see. I have to say hi. Hi, Amy. Hi, Leslie. Let's see. I got to read comments. Let's see. Illinois. Okay, I'm missing half of the comment there, so I can't really see. Oh, you got your catalog. Okay, wonderful. I love that. Okay, so the new annual catalog special offer, you get hostess rewards, $15 of hostess rewards when you spend $100. Plus, I'm going to give away a free retired stamp set to everybody who participates, some retired designer paper, a free class to go. Is that not enough? No, there's even more. You'll also get an in-color bookmark and 6 cards, 6 retired cards from my stash of cards that are retired. So it's really, really awesome. So all you have to do is let me know you want to participate, plan to spend $100 in product, and you'll get all of those goodies. Now, you do have to pay shipping to get all that stuff to you, flat rate shipping, but anyway, the details are on my website. If you're, actually, they're not actually on my website. If you're a newsletter subscriber, you would have gotten the inside scoop, but I have not actually made it public on my website yet. So I'll include a link in the description of the Facebook Live, and just let me know if it's something you're interested in. I kind of try to focus on my newsletter subscribers. They get all the information, but sometimes I don't always put everything on my website. Hi, Diane. I'm going to take a deep breath. Hi, Barbara. Welcome. Okay, so that's the 3rd reason to love the first week in June. And the fourth reason, I should say, to love the first week in June is that I will be launching my new technique classes, the very first one, in June. So the registration deadline is actually May 31st. Anybody who's registered by May 31st will get a supply list and will be notified of some details about the technique class that's happening in June. There'll be a live class in June, and there's lots of different ways to sign up as well. So I'm super excited about the new technique classes that I'm going to be offering, and you can subscribe for a 3-month class series, or you can sign up for one class. There's all kinds of different options. So I'll include a link in the Facebook description also for that, if that's something you're interested in. So all this anticipation, because there's so much going on in June. I can't wait for the new catalog to go live. It's really awesome. I don't know how many of you actually already have your catalogs, but I think you're going to love it once you see it. Okay, so a few quick things. So just so you know, the first technique class, the one in June, is going to feature the Magnolia Lane stamp set, and which coordinates with these framelits that are called the Magnolia Memory Dies. This is an amazing set. I actually today was outside taking pictures of magnolia flowers in my garden, trying to get an angle that looked just like this gorgeous flower right there. Anyway, I digress. So that's going to be the featured products. All right. So what else? So the project that I'm going to show you today is made with let's see, I'm going to get the suite out. It's right here. Well, it's the Garden Lane designer paper, and I'm only showing you this one panel here, but I've used 6 of the patterns on the different variations of this fun fold card that I'm going to share today. And the Garden Lane coordinates with this stamp set. It's called Verdant Garden. Now, I did not use this stamp set in the project I'm going to show you today, but it's got some really great images in it, so I will eventually use it. And what I'm going to be using, I'll show you in just a sec, is some of the images from Painted Harvest, and then also this lovely thank you die, which I love. So those are some of the things I'm going to be using in the project. So without further ado, I'm going to point the camera down and I'm going to show you what I have to share today. You guys ready? You guys ready? Oh, the catalog is fabulous. Yes, it is. Okay. So now to do the quick little switch and get you all facing down. Okay, let's see. And go. Okay, so I am also going to be using these multi-purpose adhesive sheets. Now, they are retiring, and unfortunately, they're gone from the catalog. I looked them up because now, of course, I've fallen in love with them and I can't get them. But I've been told that you can purchase them in places online, probably Amazon or something. So you can still get them if you want them. So the project today, showed you some of the things we're using. Got a few more things out. This is going to be pretty quick. I did actually make 3 different versions of it, and it is called a Joyfold card. Does anybody know what a Joyfold card is? Have you guys made one? It's pretty simple, but it just it's very joyous. How about that? Shall I use that word? All right, so I've already pre-scored my paper. It's not a traditional style card, as you can see. So it's got this opening like that. And I'm going to start by putting my inside piece in the inside. And this is kind of, we won't actually need to write on this piece because we're going to have another piece in there. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so it's a joy fold. Oh, hi, Parker, welcome. And I see Pam, you have not made one of these either. It's a pretty simple card, but super fun and great for designer paper. And this time of year with the new catalog coming out, all the designer papers, I have them all in my hands because I'm doing the product shares, and it's just a great time to show off the designer papers. So now I have this other piece of cardstock right here. Now, all the dimensions and everything will be on my website, but I'm pretty sure this is 7.5. I think it's 7. Oh, I can't even remember. Anyway, I'm not even going to try. But anyway, it's folded in half. The dimensions will be on my website, so I won't have to think about it too much and try to explain it to you, and I don't want to give you the wrong number. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I have adhesive on the back side, and yes, it is joyful, actually. The joy fold is joyful. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this right here. And I'm doing it so that I have a nice even edge on here and here and here. Not necessarily the same size, but that's kind of how it sits on there. So this is the actual fold. Not too complicated. Next, I'm going to take a panel of this Designer Series paper. And like I said, I've used 6 of the different patterns because I've done 3 different cards. You can see the back side, and it has adhesive on it. I've done that to just kind of make it fast. And so you don't have to watch me putting adhesive on my cardstock. And I'm just going to place that right here. Isn't it pretty? Do you guys like that? The one of the things I love about this designer paper is that it's so, it's kind of neutral, you know. The patterns aren't too crazy busy, and it makes it really easy to design with. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece of designer paper on. Now I'm also using a piece of vellum cardstock, so I am going to just make sure I've got it got the right size. Sometimes it's a hair off in one direction or another, so I like to make sure I'm orienting it in a way that will line up well. So I'm going to put that aside. Just attach that. Now, isn't this another gorgeous one? Oh, I didn't show you the back side. Wait. There's the back side. The front side is definitely prettier. What do you guys think? I love this particular pattern right here. I'm going to show it to you nice and close. You guys see it? Isn't that pretty? Does anybody like that? Anybody gravitate towards this Garden Lane designer paper? Okay, a few more details. Now I've taken my adhesive sheets, and I'm not going to do this on camera, but I basically took a piece of garden green cardstock, attached a piece of the adhesive sheet to it, and then die cut it through the Big Shot using my thank you die. So you can see on the back side is white instead of green. That's because it has the adhesive sheet on the back side. So it's pretty fabulous way to do this. So now this is the tricky part, is getting it started on the back. Did you guys just hear my air conditioning go off? You probably can hear me better now. Sometimes when I'm videotaping, I have to like turn off the air conditioning so you don't hear it in the background. Alrighty, so you see how it's coming off, but you have to be, pretty careful so you don't rip your sentiment. But it's going to make putting this together so easy. Okay, so move that back. Now I'm going to just center it right on my vellum. I'm doing it in this order for a very particular reason, which you will learn in 1 second. So it pretty much, stick into my finger, fits side to side on this piece of vellum. So now I've got it on there, just so. And then, because you can see adhesive through vellum, I'm doing it in this order because I don't want to see that adhesive through. So instead of putting adhesive all over the back side of the vellum, I'm just going to put it on the spots that will be hidden. So behind the thank you. So I'm kind of drawing it on there, and it doesn't have to be covering the whole thing. I'm just putting a little bit in the fattest parts of the letters. And I don't really want it to ooze out, so I'm trying to put just a small amount, just a little line, kind of writing it on there. Okay, so now I'm just going to place it so that it's superimposed right over the top of my designer paper. And I just, I felt like the vellum sort of helped to mute the paper just enough so that it didn't look too busy with the thank you die. And then I'm just going to press it right on there. And there you go. Pretty cool, huh? What do you guys think? Yes, this green is garden green. This is Pear Pizzazz, the one that's in behind. And there are some other colors in this designer paper. The mint macaron is in there. You can't really see it too well on this version, but I'll show it to you on one of the other ones. And then I do have a couple other little steps to do on this. And then I'm going to show you the finished products of the other designs that I did. So I stamped some of the images in here. This one image on the Pear Pizzazz and the garden green. That image from the Painted Harvest. And then I'm using the coordinating punch right there to punch those out. Now the thing with a Joyfold card is typically, not always, but typically, it has a little latch of sorts to kind of hold the front down. So this is the element that we're creating now, is the little latch. So you can see how it sits up, right? It doesn't, you know, it'll stand up nicely, but you kind of want to hold that down so you kind of can see it. So that's the point of the latch. So I've punched out 2 of my leaves, and then I'm going to punch out a garden green circle. And then I'm going to position my leaves on there, and I need some glue dots. So let's see my position. So I'm going to put a glue dot in behind the base of each of those leaves. And then I'm going to attach it to the circle. Okay, so we'll start with this one. Now I put them down towards the bottom of the leaves so that they're not going to stick up over the top of the green circle. That's my goal. So they mostly don't. Okay. Hi, Carol. Welcome. I just happened to look at my phone just this very second. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with my garden green leaves. Putting a glue dot at the base of each of the leaves. So you can see it right there. And then I'm going to just attach this one over the top. So this is just a little embellishment, if you will, to kind of be the stop, the door stop, if you will, for my card. And the way I like to do this is towards the top here, I'm going to put a dimensional so that it's kind of raised up. So put that up towards the top. And then towards the bottom, down at this point, I'm going to put a glue dot. And that way it's gonna lay on the paper more flatter at the bottom and raised up a little bit at the top. So then we're going to go ahead and attach it. Now I don't want it to overlap a lot, so the point of this again is to kind of be a little latch for the door of the Joyfold. So I'm going to overlap it just by the littlest bit, like that, so that I can open the card fairly easily, but then when it's closed, that top panel lays flat. So there you go. A Joyfold card. Isn't it joyful? You want to see the other versions? I made 2 other versions with other colors or other patterns of the designer paper. So I'm going to show you those quickly. Let's see, my original design was this one, and you can see they're pretty similar, all the same colors of cardstock and the same thank you and all that. So I did the embellishment the same with the leaves, but just different designer paper patterns. The last one I did a little bit differently. It brings in some of the other colors that are in the designer paper, so I'm going to show you that one. So this one is uses the soft sea foam for the base, a white piece for the inside backing, you can see there, and then this color is the Mossy Meadow. And then of course I've done the sentiment in with the die cut in white and done my embellishment here differently. So in this one you can really see some of the mint macaron, of course the Mossy Meadow. So this brings in a bunch of different colors. So it's just really fun, all the different greens. Oh, I'm so glad I convinced you like the paper. That makes me happy. There's nothing like seeing, something being used and, have some patterns in behind it to help us appreciate any given designer paper. So anyway, those are my 3 cards, and they all, of course, are the Joyfold. And they were super fun to make and actually quite simple, as you can probably tell. So what else? I think that's pretty much what I wanted to share as far as the project is concerned. Let's see, I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see my face. And I honestly wish I could turn it around so I could see yours. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, so I'm back. So tell me what you think of that Joyfold card. You gonna go make one on your own? It's pretty easy. So again, the dimensions will be on my website. I'll have them up tomorrow. This video will be on YouTube, and so you can go ahead and get all those details there and a complete supply list and all that stuff. You won't, of course, be able to get the designer paper in the catalog until June 4th, but of course you can order my Taste of Sweet product shares if you want. That is the one share of all the ones that I'm doing that just has designer paper in it. It doesn't actually have any ribbon or other things that go with it. So it's, it's a quarter of a pack. So it's like really low priced item. So anyway, I hope you guys are excited for the new catalog coming on June 4th. And let me know if you have questions about the product shares and about my new technique class series and what else. And of course, if you don't have a catalog and you need one and you don't have a demonstrator already, please let me know. I'd be happy to send one to you. And I know there's one other thing I'm forgetting. Oh yes, and my annual catalog special offer. I, again, will have a link to both the product shares and the annual catalog special offer details in the description of the Facebook Live event. So anyway, that's pretty much it for today. So I hope you've enjoyed the project, and let me know if you have questions or comments. And I hope you have a wonderful evening and a great weekend. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining me.